We're talking about hard decisions, that sort of stuff, right?
Right.
But you got a primary coming up. We have to worry about the Republicans next.
That's right.
Right?
That's
So,
true.
how are you going to deal with that?
Without dealing with hard decisions? I just
Discussing the kinds of hard decisions you may be asked to make. First, by feeding fodder to the Republicans in a primary contest.
You know, I really believe that Dan and I are going to run our record, run on what we expect to see in state government. We're, we are a team. We're a team that really believes and I believe Dan has a vision. And I think that's what's going to sell to the people of the state, that we have it, and we are the team with Dan's leadership to go forward.
Actually, the team, it's more like a partnership.
Yeah.
It's more like a partnership.
I should have used that word instead. Right. I think the records that we both have, we balance each other out. He's done a great job in Stanford and turning that around. And I think with my honesty in budgeting, we both agree on, which will be the first time in a long time in state government. We're gonna, I think we can sell that to the people and they'll understand it. That's what they want.
Either of you had a conversation since winning the endorsement with either Lamont or Glassman?
No, they haven't called.
Nancy, 4 years ago,
Actually, we just came back from backstage here. So.
What if they do that again this year?
I believe they won't this year. I think that Dan has a record now, and I think that Dan and I are the partners that are going to win this thing. I don't believe that the voters are going to split the ticket this year.
So when do you get the check? On Wednesday?
I think the 2nd of June, there's a processing period in the statute, so I think it's the 2nd of June. Right.
And Nancy, you're in the process of raising money. Tell us where you are.
We just started 2 weeks ago.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And I think we've got a while to go, but we're getting there. As I walked around here, people said the check's in the mail. Hopefully they're right. I know we all say that in government, but I think that they mean it. True.
So, what constituencies do you think you'll bring to the ticket? What voters out there can you pull in that Dan doesn't already have?
I think Dan's got it all.
Well, he's about stuff.
Hey,
Yeah.
Legend.
You know what? I think it's also that we balance because of the experience in state government, and he understands how to build on the economic development. We've seen that in Stanford, and we can't be last in jobs anymore. We've got to work to bring businesses in, and Dan is an expert in doing that. So I think that's going to be the reason we're going to.
When you talk about government not being a business, is that a knock on Lamont?
No, it's not a knock on anybody. It's the truth. It's not a business. We're not there to make a profit. We are there to service people, and I've said that for years and years and years. I really believe this. We are a service group agency, and as Dan does, that we can downsize government. We can look at it, but the services come first.
Mayor, on the Republican side, Mayor Mark Bowden, during the press conference with Fidelity, he said that he was going to be more of an integral part with the Fidelity administration besides just being the president of the Senate. What are your thoughts if Dan Malloy does become governor? Will you take a more active role in the Malloy administration?
I'm going to let Dan Malloy explain that to you.
Okay. And you need to understand, this is a partnership. We're going to. There's enough issues in the state of Connecticut that we can divvy up to make sure that the job gets done for the first time in 20 years. So I have the most experienced person in state government, somebody who sounded the alarm about structural deficits when no one else was paying attention. I couldn't have a better partner. So we're ready for this.
So you're agreeing with Bowden. You'll have more. She'll have more of a role in your administration.
Absolutely. Listen, I talk about gap finance rules being applied. It's one of the ways that we can make sure structural deficits start to disappear. Paying attention. I couldn't have.